right, I'm going to call this Facilities Committee meeting of November 24th, 4 p.m. to order. And I have to take roll call. Ashley Flickley, I forget how we do this.
Or just,
We're all here? We're all here, all right. All right, noting no public comments, we will skip ahead to our elementary school window project.
So we reached out to some performance contractors to look over the project. And so from Performance Services, we have Cameron here. He's going to kind of walk you through. I believe everybody has their proposal in front of them. And so, like I said, he's going to kind of walk through his company, what they're proposing, and then obviously answer any questions that the four of you have. So, Cameron, please.
Yeah, thank you, Jack. Hi, I'm Cameron from Performance Services. So we are a performance contractor and design builder here in the state of Illinois, as well as in other states across the country. So a little bit about us. I know you guys are familiar with performance contracting. We take a step further with design and build. So we've been around for 27 years. We are initially based out of Minneapolis. Our CEO and founder is from there. Been in Illinois now for 19 years. Illinois is kind of the first branch we came off of there. Our office here in Illinois is located in Lombard. And then I'm kind of Cameron, who handles kind of everything south of 80. That's why you guys see me here. So very fun. We do, like I said, do the performance contract here in the state of Illinois. As of this year, became Illinois' leading performance contractor. But what we added this past year is an architectural arm to our business, which is able to get into more architectural things, doing more design build, building buildings, remodeling buildings, things like that. So when Jack reached out, we came down and took a look at your guys' elementary school windows, which I know has been giving you a little bit of trouble. You guys have looked at it a couple times, things like that. Along with me, I brought Alex Lopez, who's our architect, and he came out and identified pretty quickly, obviously the windows need to be changed, but some other things that would need to happen as well out of there. So from walking with him, from looking at the building with him, we put right in front of you guys here is the preliminary budget for that building. And so what it entails is obviously replacing those windows, getting those in full size, removing the plywood infills that are there, getting away from those residential windows that are currently there, getting you brand new energy efficient windows. But as well, one thing that Alex identified is the tuck pointing with the building. So tuck pointing is kind of removing the mortar out of there, replacing it, and then replacing the sill at the top of the building. So if you kind of think of the crown of the building, removing that and getting it rehabbed for you. And the reason behind that is could we come out and put the windows in and get kind of the initial issue taken care of? Yeah, we could. However, we look at solutions kind of the full thing. I don't want you guys to have to call me in 5 years and say, hey, the sill around there is starting to deteriorate because water is now seeping down. So as you see there, that number that is there encapsulates everything from replacing the windows to doing the tuck pointing around that top of that elementary, the top story of the elementary. You guys call it the birdhouse, what it was called. Kind of the top there.
Is that what you call it, Nate?
Yeah.
We are now.
All right, there you go. So that way it prevents water from getting in. So when, right now with the tuck pointing kind of as it sits, there are some gaps and some deficiencies where water is now going to start to seep down into there. So replacing all of that around the top, giving you an aluminum coping kind of around that top there. And then obviously the windows, this is inclusive of all the work for the windows. So on the inside, when those windows come out, there's going to be some drywall things that come out, ceilings that need to be removed. This then replaces all those so it looks, and you kind of get a seamless thing. So that's kind of the top one there. And then there's kind of, as you can see, there's a second line there with 1A. So when we did look at this, like I said, we looked at it kind of as a whole thing. The first floor also needs to have tuck pointing done. With the admission of the newer 2000s edition, if you guys have picture that building, they have a different look around the top. They have that aluminum coping, which we would do on the third story there. It doesn't happen. However, it isn't an emergency, but it is something we want to kind of have you guys have pricing on. So at least you're aware of it. You have what that pricing looks like. If it's something where all of a sudden since October when I talked, if all of a sudden there's a leak that has sprung from there, that is kind of the solution for it. But it is something that isn't necessary at the moment. I would say probably in the next 6 to 7 years, you want to start looking at that. So you kind of had that pricing. Now with this, kind of how we operate things is this is a preliminary budget. We have an estimating team. We reach out to our contractors and get there, basically say to them, hey, if we were to do this project, what would that pricing be? You get back to us. With this, nobody has walked this site yet, so there isn't definitive numbers. So we have this. A lot of times what we'll do is we will go to contract on a budget pricing. I have the subcontractors come out and walk it. We get hard pricing for you, which then amends that budget pricing. With performance services, once we get those hard pricing for you, we have a no change order guarantee. So once it's there, no matter what happens, there is no change orders that the district sees. So if we were to happen to miss a section of something, there was something we had to relocate, you guys would never see that cost. That's something we have to eat. As we start moving forward this, you would see performance services here a lot because you kind of hear the old adage of measure twice, cut once. We like to say it's measure 10 times, cut once. So we don't have those issues, making sure it's something that's complete for you guys going forward. So from that, I would have expect questions because I would imagine that this is probably a little bit higher than you guys have seen for pricing from what I've gathered. So kind of questions around that and what it would be.
So for the hard pricing, how much does it usually vary, have you seen?
Typically, it goes down about 5%.
Oh.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, with that budget pricing, that is kind of a worst case scenario. So we see pricing typically about 5% underneath the cost of what this is. So I would imagine probably 310 to 315 is where we find the hard price at. Don't hold me to that one, but right around there.
Usually doesn't go up by like $30,000 or something like that. Like we should
No,
expect
not
that.
at all. At that point, then we would, one obviously would tell you that, and we would show you that, but we would have to internally have a lot of conversations. But yeah, almost never see pricing go above the budgetary pricing.
And would we sign a contract before or after we saw the hard pricing?
So that is a decision that you guys can make. Now, with where we are at in the year, I know this is something you guys want to look at doing next summer. To get you the hard pricing, recommendation would be sign a contract for the budget. That's right here, so 322. And then once the hard prices come back, I would bring you an amendment to that contract, and then it would be signed up.
Okay.
So that is a choice that you can make. You can have that go out. If you guys said, Cameron, yeah, we'd really like to do this, then I would spin up having the bidders come out. The reason I say the time frame is with the holidays,
Yeah.
Getting them to come out in kind of the next 4 weeks is really difficult. So a lot of times to kind of get the ball rolling for you guys to make sure we can get in the subcontractors. At the end of the year, it's budget pricing, and then most likely would be kind of January where those hard prices would come in, and then you guys would sign up.
Okay.
As well as subcontractors, I'm sure you're well aware of getting them in quicker than later helps getting better prices because they want to fill their book for the summer. So.
So you would take that stone coping off the top altogether?
Yep.
Really? And then replace it with aluminum?
Aluminum coping, yep. So there would be an extra layer of brick that would go up to replace it.
Sure.
And then
Okay, so that's why I'm asking
Yeah.
how does it go,
So it's not going to take anything off the
Right.
top. It's still going to be the same height as it was. We would basically take your 6-inch coping off right there. We'd replace it with brick to go into there, and then the aluminum right over top. And
Okay.
it would be flashed in with the roof that's currently there.
And when you bid it out, I'm guessing you have people you already use, like it wouldn't be any local, it'd be just who you have relationships with already?
No, actually, we would prefer to have local.
Okay.
Now, in saying that, sometimes we can't get local, so we have people we work with districts all over, so we have those relationships. And when I bring you those hard pricing, I'm also going to bring you our open book pricing. So you'll see everything we bid it out to.
Okay.
What's great about doing this, like under the Guaranteed Energy Savings Contract, is you're not bound by the lowest qualified bidder. So if you were to choose someone who is in the community, it might be a little bit higher price, but you want to give that business to them. We'll always have recommendations on it. Hey, we have worked with these guys quite a bit. We know they're going to give you good work. That's our recommendation, but it is your choice at the end. But to answer the question, we are always going to try and get local bidders as much as we
I know we've
possibly
had
can.
some brickwork done before by a local, but not the extent of this. so I wouldn't,
Yeah,
even know if
absolutely.
it would be in their scope, you know?
Yeah, and some maybe not, wouldn't be able to handle something
Yeah.
like this. We usually can get a pretty good local contractor to do this.
So you were there when you were there and went upstairs there and looked?
Yep, yep, we started, kind of looked at it.
Yeah, because I was up there too. I don't know, when was that? Middle, end of August, something like, oh, mid-September.
When were you appointed? It was.
So September, whatever, second week of September, and you could tell the ceiling tiles there's water.
Yeah, there's water, so we noticed a couple of those, and then Alex, my architect, kind of as we stood on the roof and he walked around to where he could,
Yeah.
he could kind of, there's some gaps that were there. He could see a lot of the mortar was kind of cracking, coming apart, which just leaches in that water.
I'm assuming the west side's worse than the east side. Right?
Honestly, it's all pretty disrepair.
Yeah, I mean, the west looks terrible
Yeah.
from the old bus garage.
And on the north side too, where that
Yeah.
shade was, that's pretty bad.
It's really bad.
They gave us a lot of insight and they were out explaining what needs, the order of things that need to be done.
Any other questions?
And then all of your contractors, they take care of all of the permitting and anything else that's required for,
Absolutely, so we're turnkey, so we have this, we will handle everything for you guys. We'll handle all the permitting, all the subcontractors, it's one contract with us, you're not gonna have to deal with everybody else. The only thing that we can't touch is asbestos. Don't think there are any up there, but that's state of Illinois, it's.
see
Yeah.
asbestos, mold abatement,
Yeah.
hazardous materials, so on.
Exactly, so that's kind of the only thing that wouldn't be there. I don't expect it to show up and ever have it be an issue, but that would be the only thing that we wouldn't be able to contract you guys with. Everything else, you're just working with us, you still be a project manager assigned to this, he'll be the point of contact. I'm always a point of contact, but he, probably him and Nate would become really good friends as we start getting people out here and things like that. We've worked out a very good schedule, obviously kids would be out of there, in summer. If, going forward, it would probably be right as the kids got out, we would get in there and put those windows out and replace for you.
And we don't foresee any material, not shortages, but like delays and
Nope.
things or anything that it could be finished in the time, over the summer.
No, so I actually we checked on that today, before I got out here to make sure that wasn't gonna be an issue. As of right now, there is nothing. The only thing that we kind of got notice is the longer that we potentially wait is the aluminum coping, just because it is a metal, those typically, as you get further and further, they can become an issue. It was kind of a warning we got from one of our contractors, but as of right now, it's not. If we were to go to contract, we'd order right away to completely prevent that, right? We
Okay.
don't want that to happen either when all of a sudden we're out here and we don't have a certain thing. But the windows are available, there was no issues with those, so they're ready to go.
What kind of windows are you putting in there? Are they gonna have like what are they gonna look like, I guess?
So there is, with contract, a design portion of this, where we'd actually sit
Sure.
down with you guys and see what you wanted. Most likely, they're just gonna have probably bottom open, so you
Yeah.
get some fresh air that comes into them. It's nice with screens there, the little handles that kind of pull out. But that is something that we would talk about, right? Because you could have the full length that open up a little bit.
And probably on the third floor in an elementary.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
They're gonna be the kind of one.
Shorter
Yeah,
ones,
yeah,
yeah.
they're gonna be where the kids can't fit.
Yeah. I will tell you, there are some people who are like, nope, we absolutely have to have it the full length open for that breeze and.
Well, that would be nice, but
Yeah.
for elementary special ed, I think we need where they can't fit.
I have young kids, so I
Yeah.
completely understand that, yes.
And they would be the fulls.
The full, like, the whole
Exactly.
word
Top
of,
of it, yes.
yeah, where the,
Yep.
Original
plywood,
size of-
yeah,
Yes.
the original size.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
We're going back to the original look.
yeah, the plywood would be gone. Teachers would have a little bit more natural light in there, so that would be nice for them. Now, in some of the rooms, there's, the ceiling kind of hangs lower, so we cut a little bit off, but it would still have a good look to it.
As far as us paying for it, is there a certain amount that you require for like a down payment?
So once we get the hard numbers and we get that final addendum, it's a 5% mobilization
okay.
fee. And that, then we just start ordering.
Okay.
The ordering would exceed the 5%, but that's just kind of as we start. And then also permitting, we would start that process as well right away. And then we would set up a payment schedule. We do it at percentages to completion. So
Okay.
you start at 25%, so it'd be 25, 50, 75, 100. Now with this, it wouldn't be a very long job, so those percentages would kind of stack up quickly, but then you would have that. So, as well with this would be an energy savings. So we would we'd calculate what those savings would be. It'd be stipulated on that of what it looks like over 30 years. Not only the windows, but the tuck pointing as well. It's kind of when not everyone thinks about it, it's like, oh, I guess, yeah, air and water are coming inside that brick, it affects it, it makes it heat more, and stuff like that. So you'd see a little bit decrease in bills. I don't want to say it's going to be a whole lot, but there would be something for you.
And then are there any kind of like energy, like rebates or anything that from upgrading to the, like a more energy efficient window?
So there are some. The only thing I would say is sometimes they are hard to get. However, we would handle all that for you. I have a gentleman, you met Charlie. Charlie is our guy who handled all of those grants and all of that stuff. He's great at doing it. So we would apply for those almost immediately as well for you to get you guys the rebates on. And I would show you all of that as well. So you would know kind of exactly what's coming to you. We'd handle it. There's a few things the district has to help out with, just some of the reporting, but we would do that for you.
This would be coming out of Health Life Safety funds. Because it is a summer project, there's a high likelihood that it'll, at least the last payment, if not the last two, would probably filter into next year fiscal. So just kind of give you a heads up on that. So the number we gave you for the Health Life Safety this year probably is still legitimate. There'd just be an extra payment that we'd have to allocate funds for next year.
And with the payment, I'd say we have those kind of set things. If you guys come to me and say, hey, Cameron, can we make the last payment in August? We can do that. We're pretty flexible on it. As long as we've got, we're working on the project and have a partnership together. We're flexible. Some people like to pull it all into one fiscal year. Some people like to split it amongst two. We're fine with that. Right? That's kind of with you guys and being in partnership. So
August of '28.
I bend. Yeah. All right. Yep.
That's if you do the second 300,000 next year.
We'll just keep doing like one brick at a time.
So these two options aren't priced together, like the second one isn't, because I know sometimes if you price together a project, it might be less expensive. So these are kind of,
They're separate,
exclusive
yeah.
from each other. Okay.
When we did this and kind of talking with Jack and kind of looking at you guys' district, I didn't know that. I didn't think both were going to happen right away. Don't get me wrong. We put them on so you had vision into it and what it is. So they are priced separately.
Okay.
Now, if you did want to do the whole thing, right, you're exactly right. Just having labor out here at the time gets you cheaper labor rates. Ordering all of the stuff for tuck point gets you cheaper pricing on it. Can definitely happen. If you guys want to do that, that's the spend you want to make. If not, then it would just be into. And even with that, if you guys signal to me like, hey, yeah, we're going to, in a few years we're going to do this, I'd also tell the subcontractors that and say, hey, give us good pricing now, and then you do good work. This job could be yours too, right? So subcontractor, earliest they can fill up their book, they love. They'll give you great everything. So I would say for us, the next step, if you'd like, I can send over a budget contract. If that's the route you guys wanted to go. From there, and then that will kind of kick off getting the subcontractors fired up and getting them going.
Any other questions for Cameron? All right.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. The one thing I will leave you with, everyone always likes to ask, I do have kind of references and a list of projects we've done. That way you guys kind of know what you're looking at, who we've worked with, things like that. All the contacts on here, feel free to always give them a call. That way you guys are kind of aware of course. I'm going to send you that.
Okay, my favorite is fine, if we're good.
I'm good. All right, well then I appreciate it, guys, and I look forward to hearing from you and hopefully working with you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, you guys have a great rest of your night.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, bud. Good to see you.
Okay, bye guys.
All right, and then we have the same from GR.
So, I sent you an email, Mr. Ingstrom could not make it tonight. He did mention it to Ashley and Ashley this weekend that he had date night with the wife and he didn't want to get divorced. So it's probably, GRP's the one that did the HAC project. He did send me this today at about 2 o'clock. Yeah. So I don't want to give you too much, go too much into it because as I said, Scott's going to come and present. But just kind of give you a heads up, the package A is just the windows portion of it. The package B is the fixing of the inside with the drywall, the roofing, everything like that. C is their solution to the roofing concern and the water access. And then D and E are additional tuck pointing things that they saw could be addressed. And then if I sent you this in email form, if you wanted to look through it, they took the pictures of what those related to. And then they sent out a roofer a couple days, and they actually got on top of the second story, not just where Brad was alluding to on the fire escape. They were actually up on the third section, or the second section there. So they took the pictures from there. I will say they don't believe it's the water, the water issue is tuck pointing. They believe it's more of a roofing issue that's up there and a flashing issue, which he kind of did allude to the flashing needs. So I'll let, like I said, they can talk about that with him.
Now, is his GRPs both, like the tuck pointing, like they said, like the additional tuck pointing, or no,
So-
just the one they did, not the 1A that Performance did?
So the second tuck pointing that
Yeah.
he talked, that's the whole school.
And this doesn't include,
Yeah,
this is
no, no, no,
just
no.
the,
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, they were out here, he's like, while we're out here, just kind of give them an idea what the rest of the tuck pointing would be.
so for everything they have is 344. So about 20,000, 22,000 more.
Well, you wouldn't
Is that-
do, so what you want to do for the windows is A, B, and C, which is about 283.
Okay.
D and E are like the secondary projects that they talked about. They're not as extensive. They are looking at solving or tuck pointing different parts.
Okay.
He's tuck pointing the whole school. He's addressing some areas of concern that they saw. I
But the-
believe, again, Scott could answer those questions
I
better
know.
than I could, but
But for GRP, they are, like, the D and the E is just the tuck pointing on the second story, correct?
no.
GRP?
It's some,
No.
yes, it's some tuck pointing there, but it's more of tuck pointing spot on the buildings, like everywhere that they saw.
okay, okay.
Like one of the pictures.
I'm
he
trying to
sent.
make it apples and apples as much as possible.
So your apples and apples are more like apples and
Peaches? Peaches?
they're both, yeah, yeah. So it's like a clementine and an orange,
Yeah.
okay? They don't believe tuck pointing is the issue, Performance does.
Okay.
They're saying the issue is the roofing issue, which is package C.
Okay.
So that's
They
the
have-
difference.
okay.
Okay.
A and B are both included in both situations because that's the windows and the interior.
And they
It's-
had a roof, GRP had a roofer come out.
Yes, with their architect.
Performance did not.
And the Performance
So
just
they had their architect out here, yes, but
Yeah.
they didn't have a roofer out here.
Okay.
So what do we think the issue
I was
is?
gonna say, how do we know
Well,
what
I
the
mean,
real
if you get a
issue
Well-
roofer out
is?
here,
So
a
we pick
roofer's
the
gonna
right
say it's a
one.
roofer issue. If you get a bricklayer
Well,
out here, a bricklayer is
so
gonna say it's a tuck pointing
the-
issue.
The
You know,
roofer didn't come
like-
out first. They both sent out architects first,
Okay.
so. We are waiting actually to hear from Total Roofing. We reached out to them, and because of the season, they're a little busy.
Now,
They're the ones.
are they the ones that put our roof on? Sorry. I was like,
They're the ones that did the last couple times for us.
Okay, that's why I was wondering. I was
Yeah.
like,
I
who
think
did
we
So-
have a third option to see that.
So what we're really asking for, not even a third option, but hey,
Not an option, but another
yeah, a
opinion.
third party who has no vested interest in this,
Correct.
what do you think it is from their perspective?
Maybe I should have asked him, I don't know, all the tuck pointing that Performance wants to do, is that preventative? Like, I'm willing to spend the extra 20 grand if we're gonna prevent another 100,000 of issues happening in 3 years
I
from
mean,
now.
Well-
it is a 100-year-old building. You're talking, this is a 1930s building. I mean, so there probably is some tuck pointing that needs
Well, no,
done.
I'm saying, it's
but-
like, is it like, if we do that now, are we gonna prevent issues later? Versus
No.
us waiting and,
Page 5.
That is the,
That's upstairs.
that is the second floor upstairs that
Like,
they're looking at.
In theory, yes.
you know what I'm saying, like, if
Yeah.
we do it now and it's gonna cost me 5,000, in 2 years, are you gonna come back and say, now there's 10 grand worth
It's
of
all
work?
gonna
That's
get
a roof
pushed.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying,
So-
And
like,
that's the pictures they took.
It's preventative
The fact they
maintenance
put up on
buildings.
the roof
I
and
guess
took
the last time
pictures
it was
is
tuck
neat.
pointed was when that north end addition was put on,
that's like in the 90s, wasn't it?
late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay. That's what I'm asking, like, I'm.
But Adrian, but I don't want to speak for the other company or
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Total
Correct,
Roofing
right.
and tell you, well, 100% is tuck. I mean, Brad just pulled up the picture and said that looks like a roofing problem.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm saying, like,
I don't have enough information to tell you which one it is.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, I don't. Performance, from their perspective, it's the tuck pointing, and that's what they would like to see done. From GRP, as I understand it, they think it's a roofing issue, so we're gonna get our company out here as soon as we can, but.
But also, how old is that roof? I mean, we've done that
So-
roof since I've been on the board.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
it's not that old.
It was probably, my second year as principal was probably 6 or 7 years ago. That's the one, if you remember, we had a lot of problems with. We had that
Because-
company come out multiple times, and that company has since not been
Okay.
welcomed back.
I remember it was an issue because there's a lot of issues up there.
Yes.
With like a walk, a metal kind of walkway, like
Yeah.
there's a bunch of issues just with that roof in itself that make it difficult
So
to
the
roof.
metal walkway is on the top of the first floor. This is on
But-
top of the second.
So
The
there's
second,
like,
but there's something metal up there, right?
Well,
That
there's-
couldn't remove or
so where
something.
the metal.
I don't remember what it's called, but
So where the metal
There's
is,
not a fire escape on that.
I was up
second
there.
floor.
Oh, no, no, the second
metal-
floor,
where the
section
metal
you're talking about is
Yeah.
where they-
walkway is, it's still like old roof under there.
yeah. I just remember there being something really wonky about that
Those are two
area.
different roofs.
Okay.
So
So-
the roof we're talking about is
The very
I
top.
call it the third floor. It's not the
The
third floor, it's really the
birdhouse
second floor. The birdhouse roof. That's the one, if you look at the pictures. they're
Where special
different.
ed is, right? Not new special
Where,
ed, but
where
like.
Title I and,
Yeah, yeah.
and fifth grade.
So where the
is.
walkway is, in my opinion, just looking at it, like, it's not wet, it's dry. Like, cause there's like the new white roof and then they left the walkway, right? Isn't
Yeah,
that-
because they have. they would have
Because
to
it was
pick
like
up
the
the-
Yeah.
disassembly
Yes.
issue.
That was the,
Yeah,
that was.
And they
the-
just left like the old black rubber on there, but the rubber there is fine. And that's what I saw.
Neither one of those address that. That is
Right,
a
but this is
completely
like-
Well,
different
yeah,
project.
that was
Okay.
like, it was going to cost an astronomical amount to remove and lift that, and it was just.
Still going to.
Yeah, I know, that's why it was one of
me
those.
kicking it
like-
down the road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's just, you don't.
But like,
Another cheers.
Yeah.
so like if you have the email, if you have the email, page 5, on that email with the pictures,
yeah.
down right there, like, I don't know exactly where that top right one is, but it's just like open to the elements.
Yeah.
And then it says on the other one, it's leaking into the multipurpose room or cafeteria, whatever they call it now.
I just wanted, like, in terms of the tuck pointing, whether or not it solves this problem, if that is something they see that we need to do and that needs to become somewhat of a priority.
Yeah, you don't
You
wanna
know
spend a
what I mean?
bunch of
Like-
money on
Yeah.
ceilings and drywall
And
and
again-
windows.
Correct.
And in 5 years, oh,
We're-
because we didn't do the tuck
Yes.
pointing, we now have
Right.
more issues with those.
Now it's gonna be 15 grand tuck pointing where I could have just spent 5 or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Make up numbers.
But on the other end of that, I want to make sure that if I
We
tell
also-
you, if it is a tuck pointing $30,000 more
Yeah.
cost, and it really is a roofing problem that costs you 40 instead of 80.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want people coming back and saying the school district's
Yeah.
wasting
Correct.
$45,000.
Yeah, we need to solve that
Because that's true,
problem,
acknowledging,
but-
like you said, if it's been 40 or 50 years, there is probably some tuck pointing we need to invest in. Maybe that is something we need to budget for next year.
Yeah, but
that's
Just
not
going in
this
and kind of
particular
doing, I mean,
And not
to be
necessarily the
preventative.
entire building.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, like what I'm saying, like
But
outside
we're
of,
starting to get to that point where we
Well-
can do more preventative. It's
Yeah,
not,
yes and no.
we've been
So
catching
whether
up
the
so
tuck
much
pointing
on
is the
what that
specific
hadn't
problem
been done
this
for so
issue,
many years
or
because
in
they
general,
didn't
it's
put the
gonna
money
be
in.
done all the
that's why I was
time.
Right,
wondering.
we can be
whether-
preventative, that's a
when
good
he
route to go
looked at the
down.
tuck pointing outside of this issue, is that still something we should be thinking about doing? Whether or not it like
Yeah.
solves
You
this,
know.
or is that something we should put on the radar?
Yeah, again, we'll have Justin come out.
Okay.
They do a lot of work for us, so I can't imagine he wouldn't, again, it's gonna be on his time, I don't wanna,
Yeah,
but,
Question for you. On this one, obviously, maybe we don't know, it's not really on there, about wrapping that top part with aluminum.
so,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
'Cause- yeah, the coping. Because I think if it's wrapped, we were talking about it. out
Yeah.
there.
Well, because if there's one picture in there of that cap with a pretty big chunk missing out of it.
well, it says install new coping cap, it just doesn't say what it's made of.
Right, like, aluminum would be best, obviously, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Most of the rest of the
Yeah.
school was the aluminum.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it says just install new, but like you said, it doesn't specifically say aluminum.
and respectfully, that'd be a question you asked.
I know.
I know, I just,
I wish he
I
was
know.
here and I wish I
I
had
know.
those answers, but, I got this at 2:00 and
yeah, it needs to be tuck pointed on the top, but the windows are obviously, I mean, it's really a whole disaster.
Yeah, the domino effect of issues on that.
Yeah, but if that roof picture on number 5,
Yeah, those pictures were a little,
that's bad.
I
Like,
mean, I was like, holy,
what's that?
Picture 5, is that the flashing?
I think so, it's like,
do you still, I think,
yeah.
I think if you put the,
I would like them to prioritize like what is now and what is
Yes,
soon now, and, you know.
Well, that's what
That's what they did. That's why this one was-
No, I mean, both of them, yeah.
The
like,
same
yeah.
thing. A is what you really need to do. B, if you
Yeah,
wanna
he
add,
did.
C, if you
no,
want
A,
things.
B, and C, you have, if you wanna do this, you have to do A, B, and C if you're doing that company.
And
If
then
you're doing
D and E.
performance,
That's what
you
I'm
have to do
saying,
one.
like, not package it, I was gonna say, like, you should really consider doing this because you need, like, a needs assessment versus if we choose this package, we have to choose all of
if you do the windows, you have to do the tuck pointing.
1000%.
it. Okay.
Both companies have said that.
Okay.
They're not gonna do the windows and not do
And
our
the
roofing or tuck
coping.
pointing.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, as Cameron said,
You won't
you're
get-
calling me in 3 years and saying, hey, the windows look like trash.
Yeah.
Well, it's
They're
because you
leaking
didn't
or
fix the
whatever.
problem,
Yeah.
Right.
so. And then the other thing, so here's your building checklist.
Oh, sorry,
So we kind of, sorry, Brad really wanted the 6
I
copies.
wanted all of them.
I showed this to you guys probably 2023.
It was right
so
when I.
Well, 2020, yeah.
23,
Okay,
yeah.
so we went through that, and at that time it was Mike and I went through, and we kind of gave you a checklist. And then at the very bottom of it, I put kind of our things we want to address and potential projects in the future. So did the exact same thing with, now that Ashley's on, and to kind of show you the things that we have done, I kept it on there and just put a line through it. So each building, you get to see how you kind of address things. This does not include, it doesn't encompass everything. Like if you did something that wasn't on here, I didn't add it to make
Yeah.
it look better. But you also notice that a lot of the check marks have gone over to the left-hand side, either excellent or good, and most of that is the results of the HVAC project and the rotational roofs that you guys have been working on the last few years. So I don't know if you just want to kind of look at and ask questions or go through them. Nate obviously helped out with a lot of this. He put a lot of good extra notes on there. I do apologize with the first email I sent, that for some reason didn't send you the right copy. But yes.
Now, I know you had mentioned with the humidity issues at the elementary being with the wooden furniture. Is that something that maybe we need to look at adding to this, maybe like a grade level at a time, replacing some furniture?
Yeah, so I've already talked to Nathan about that. We're gonna probably look to do, what did we say, probably 90 desks, you know, three classrooms.
As I figured, maybe a grade level a year
yeah.
or something, if we can just kind of rotate
Yep.
it out.
And I don't think there's a lot left, but
Okay.
yes, that's the plan.
Okay.
100% to get that taken care of.
Nate, I got a question for you. So, the junior high says corner by Schrader sinking, obviously.
Yeah,
I've been in that room.
Yeah.
So So do you think that's the problem with her windows?
As far as what, the thermal
Because,
being bad?
yeah,
I wouldn't say so. There's several spots in that school where
the panes are bad?
start.
Yeah, we had to replace the thermal panes before we did the screening.
Because I was just thinking, I just saw that, and it was just like, you think like it's sinking, maybe it's doing that with the window. You know what I'm saying?
I
I'm
think
just
there'd be bigger
asking.
issues if it was caused from the
Yeah.
sinking. I think we'd be getting water or something coming
Yeah, and
through
the,
those.
the wall isn't cracked either, it's just a
Yeah.
floor.
And it's that, just that corner of that building. It's-
Yeah.
I mean, you can visibly see it when you walk in with the tile difference.
Yeah,
But I think as far as the windows, I mean, the second story's got some, the other side of the stairs has some, so it's
is
throughout
it
the
cracked
school.
upstairs too?
Is it, are they, we mean by
The
crack?
floor, the
Oh,
floor.
no, I don't think we have, no.
I'm talking, the windows upstairs.
Oh, I'm
saying
sorry.
there's-
Yeah,
there's
the
several
windows.
There's no
windows
second
that-
floor above.
Oh, yeah, that's right, there is no second floor above her.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, look how excited you guys got.
We gotta add more, that's the only place we can add more classrooms easily. So are the junior high.
Over
2 more
there,
years.
what does the school, what does the school own on the south side of the junior high?
So on the south side of junior high, you can go up to the, we're gonna call them the baseball fields. So the baseball fields are village property.
That's what I thought.
Yep. So everything south of that, the soccer field, no, they allow us to play around.
Yeah, I mean, I was just,
Yep, property, and our property goes up into if you're going east, it's up to that,
where the prairie or
Yeah,
whatever you
like-
wanna call
I'm
it.
gonna call it ditch, but it's not a ditch, but yeah.
All right, so going through some of these, so for the high school, we have future project staff lot. Is this like a safety issue? Is
So
this
if you're
like-
on this side of the
Yeah.
building, yeah, so we don't have any lighting out there at this time, outside what's on the, so the superintendent every month has to fend off like burglars and stuff, and so I know karate, but it's just dangerous. But yeah, Nathan's pointed that one out. Now, again, it wasn't a huge priority, but now that we got that one done, add it to
Okay.
the wish list,
So we
something
should
on
at
that
least
side.
one. over
into
there.
that,
The only
especially
lighting
if
is
it's.
really on the building, where I'd eventually like to how we did at the end of the drive
Yes.
here. and
So we
could
need
go-
to run some
One or
electric
two
at
over
some
there.
poles.
Yes, and that's why when Hurley came in and did this, he left that last light pole accessible for if we ever want to expand lighting for doing whatever we want.
Okay. And then the den exterior, that's just for funsies.
Yeah, actually, that was a Nathan Stanula edition, that was not a Dr.
No, I mean, I like
It's also a
it.
Mike Meyer edition.
I like it, but for 15K, what
I
am
just
looking
threw
at
it out there,
fees?
yeah.
I think they should get some graphics on the doors.
Oh, that's
These doors? Yeah, we've mentioned it before. The problem is, that's the one the cheerleaders use to promote the,
No, the doors into the actual, I don't know, what is he calling it now? Den?
the door itself, or
The black-
the pane.
the
The
black-
Interior door?
interior door only has like a pane that's like 6 inches. But we could put something in
I'm
it.
gonna like put a sticker on the door.
No, the whole door.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like,
Yeah, like a skid, like
Yeah.
a wrap, I know a company.
Or you could get artsy and paint it.
Yes, but,
Let me walk you through these places where we've painted the metal doors and,
and then, I saw somewhere, what are the lockers?
yeah, so if you remember, what was it, 3 years ago, we had a company out of Texas come and refinish those. And on a micro scale, if you look at it, you're like, oh, it looks really nice, but then you start looking at it, I wouldn't recommend doing that again. So,
Well, I thought we've just had summer help kind of painting them, right?
no.
No,
No?
this was a
No.
contract.
Yeah,
Oh.
Because you have to
Summer
actually
help came and
sandblast and
painted
paint.
above the, above
Yeah.
the lockers.
So
Maddie.
is this be, gut them all and put in new ones?
Oh, God, no, we can't afford that.
The new lockers, that's why I have a bunch of question marks,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
So much
Where are we going?
They're lockers.
I mean, if they're not like falling off or anything.
that's where I'm kind of at. I think I left it on there just because we talked
Okay.
about it 4 years ago, and I wish that would have turned out better.
Yeah.
It didn't, so.
Yeah, I just assumed it was like,
Yeah.
we painted them, and
Oh,
oh yeah, it's
no.
chipping off and stuff, and oh well, it was a couple $100 in
Somebody
paint.
comes in, they,
You know?
not sandblast, what do they
It was
use?
the electrostatic,
Electrostatic. That's
basically
what-
a powder coat almost, but it was not really a powder coat.
Well, see, because we
What
had
kind of
the same
warranty
kind
do
of
we
lockers,
have
we had
on
them in
that?
Texas, and every year, like, classroom teachers would paint them. They got a lot of paint built up on
You
them.
can't powder coat unless it's like actual in the oven, like powder
Yeah.
coat.
Yeah. And you can't wrap those in skins because that's a lot of cutting. And
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah. In terms of seal coating, we're going to continue that on a rotational basis. Yeah.
So then for the junior high, what do we do with this foundation structure? Like,
It's been an
Is
issue for
there
a
any-
while.
Well, so
Well, we had, what did we do here?
They have-
It used to be issue here at the high school.
They probably mud jacket.
I say they got this
It was a
foam stuff
corner.
now, and
I wanna
that,
say
yeah.
this, was it this front corner or the back corner, kinda more this way? Didn't we have a
well, but
problem with
that's
the high school?
so. I'm not a foundation expert,
Yeah.
but it's different if I'm jacking up or I'm bringing up a sidewalk than if I'm bringing up an entire corner of a building.
True.
So it's one of those, and I'm sorry to say it because Brad's here, until it becomes an issue, I'm not jumping on it right
Okay.
away. Plus, if there's a future for that section anyway, it's probably
Yeah.
a full encompassing
Yeah,
project to
true.
do.
What did we end up doing?
It's okay, you can say what you want.
I was citing,
I mean, if it's something that's going to cause issues, something we should address before it gets worse? Or if it's just kind of, I mean, I see it's in the fair column.
Yeah.
So,
well,
I
cause
mean,
it's sinking.
What did,
yeah.
the church,
It's like settling.
Settling.
What did the church want?
like for, you guys were doing stuff at the,
Oh,
school over
the
there.
donation that we.
Yeah, the donation,
So
that's
this
what
past summer, we did the playground, so we did it, we mulched it, we got swings. Miss anything there, Nate? And then maybe something with the fence, but I can't remember.
Yeah, the spring, we're finishing up in the spring.
We're putting the slats in so that corn doesn't come through there. I think that's what we're doing, the slats.
So corn, and then also for privacy panel for all the kids, it'll kind of block it from Indiana Avenue, being able to see them on the playground. But landscaping ended up being a big chunk of.
Substantial.
It was a big overhaul of that playground,
So.
at least the mall.
So that kind of took care of that situation, and so we're probably gonna enter in negotiations with Pete's again about a longer term stay there. And so at that point in time, we'll probably discuss what the school can provide, whether it's, seal coating the lot, because we do that
yeah, that's what I was
anywhere.
wondering, like how,
Yeah. But there's a fine line between, obviously they're a church, so you can't really pay them.
yeah.
But you also you wanna help out, but you don't wanna,
Can you refresh, what did we do on the science wall?
the science
Remember?
wall.
Here, we had an issue.
The science wall?
Yeah, wasn't it the science, the brick, something with it? And we had a couple things, I don't remember, just recently, okay. We were just talking about tuck pointing and stuff, and I knew we did something there.
Oh, you're talking about the gym? We haven't done anything with the.
Haven't done it yet?
Because we had talked about the gym wall.
Okay, I knew it was
Right.
something on that side.
Yeah, we talked about, we truly believe the issue is an internal issue, that it's seeping through the brick, and then when it should be going into the trough, if you will, that then takes to the weeping holes. There, that was put together with aluminum tape and aluminum guttering. Well, the aluminum tape has deteriorated in time, it's no longer, so that's what his dad was thinking, he was an architect. You would have to tear that entire wall off to find exactly where
Okay,
that's
that was
at.
it. And where
So
we had kinda talked about, if we add on, it would be
So-
over there.
We had talked about potentially using a brick sealer, so it would hit it, I mean, it's not ideal, but it would hit the brick and then drop down, and then hopefully the roof would help it out versus, again, it only happens if there's a driving rain specifically from the east.
Yeah.
Or the south. is when you go
What's
under.
happening?
So,
It's only like every once in a blue moon, it ends up leaking, and it's just, then
Where
you
does
can't,
it
you
leak?
can't recreate it.
The brick leaks?
so,
The wall, that wall where the greenhouse is, right?
no,
gym?
it's this one right here, the athletic hallway. So, if you look, there's, we have tile that's removed, because if it rains real hard, it comes in sideways and hits the brick. And then the natural idea is brick is porous, so it seeps through the brick, and it goes into its tunneling system to where it then takes it through the weeping holes, and it's not a problem.
The brick sealant stuff works.
That's what we had
was our
talked about,
thought.
but we weren't,
So it doesn't get through the brick.
we weren't, like, it's
It's
not
like
gonna fix
paste,
it, or do we
but
need
it
to?
works.
Yeah.
So,
That's an easy fix, really. Well,
I
hopefully.
You're good at this, aren't you?
Nothing's ever
These are
easy.
schools.
But that was it, oh, it could be this, it could be this, it was trying to kind of figure out, and like you said, it doesn't happen often enough to be able to, when you do think something, or we're gonna try something, you have to kind of wait, did it work? Well, let's wait until we get that once in a blue moon rain and see.
And the summer we were hoping to do it this summer, the summer got away from us, so it happened, sorry.
No, I remember the conversation, I just didn't remember what the end point was or if we figured anything out.
And you're probably gonna be doing the junior high roofs, not next summer,
So I'd say in about 2 weeks.
probably the following summer of '27. So next year's budget, I will probably budget junior high roofs. Whether, again, we'll probably do it in phases, would be my guess, unless I get a nice deal and just get the whole thing done. But we'll probably do 2 different phases in that, kind of like we did here at the high school we did until there was a massive.
And that's one of the, so now that we're talking like where we're getting years and stuff out, I mean, to start that conversation again, like, I know we can't really tell our numbers or anything like that, but like, I know at the elementary, we don't have a lot of room if we get an influx of people moving and stuff, and that's my fear is, I don't wanna replace the junior high roof, and then in 5 years, we've gotta make an addition on what we, like,
Yeah.
I kinda wanna start thinking and planning that, like, same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, well, to fix that wall, well, if we end up doing an addition there, it's like,
Agreed.
I don't wanna do work to have to undo the work a couple years later.
So the 2 places that if you're looking to add an addition, it's always cheaper to go up than to build anything. Not only that, you would have to prepare property. I know that's one of the things that you guys have talked about with me, you want me to look into property. If you were to add the second floor to the 8th grade wing at the junior high, that would add you 6 classrooms.
So we could move like 5th grade over there.
So that would be again, if you're asking the superintendent, hey, what's your long-term plan right here at this moment? I would move 5th grade to junior high. You would open up 3 or 4 classrooms at the elementary. You'd still have 1 or 2 classrooms open at the junior high. And then I would also recommend doing the second floor of the science wing here and getting the second floor up
So
here.
instead of building out where the greenhouse is, just building.
Correct.
Okay.
So now you're adding, as many as 13 classrooms if you really want to push the number, but you're adding another 6 here to kind of get there.
That's just always the hard conversation because everybody that says, oh, we should have never built a junior high. Why would you build your smallest building? That's always the community's complaint and stuff like that. Oh, if you're gonna build, you wanna build a high school, that gets people moving. Well, the problem is, when we start getting too big for our britches, it's gonna be in elementary. It's not gonna be in high school, so we're not gonna be able to fit the elementary kids, but if you build a new elementary, then they all start moving, then it just ends up being a bigger problem. I mean, if we have the room and we can add on, because I mean, the elementary, you can't really, I don't think, tell so much that it's got a bazillion add-ons, as long as it's done right and it looks nice and it'll fit.
Yeah.
Because then you're not also having to rebuild all of your other things, your baseball fields, your everything,
Yeah.
Plus, that's a lot of land. If you're looking at where you want to build a whole new high school and whole new sports complex, I mean, we don't have that money.
Yeah, you need 50,
I don't foresee us
60,
getting
70.
that money.
Right. And I mean, I'm very optimistic that Beecher, I know permits are starting to get pulled and they're looking to start building. And I hope Beecher's the exception to the rule of Illinois, but Illinois is not a growing state. It's not. People are leaving Illinois. That's why you're going to now be facing revenue issues in the state of Illinois because the tax base is leaving. So I also don't want us to get into the same concern that happened when they saw the houses potentially going up. We saw what we could be a housing boom, and then everything just got stopped and shut down, and then what we were projecting to happen didn't happen.
I just don't want to get where we don't, because now even if you look at our elementary, our classrooms are some grades a little bigger than you'd like, If we get where we get 50 people moving in, then it's just not optimal learning, which is what you want for your students.
Yep.
For the digital sign at the junior high, how long has it not worked? Because I feel like we could just
Like a year after it was
So-
installed.
We could just not replace it.
So, Joe did a phenomenal job, shout out to Joe. So last year I went to the foundation and talked to the foundation with Ms. Flores and gave them a proposal, and they came back with their opinion on it. And so I then tasked Joe and Brandon Du Bois to kind of look at it themselves, and Joe found a site that he can buy the panels, he can retrofit the panels and get it to work, right? See?
Look at you go.
Is your software still going to be compatible
So
with?
those are all Joe Duncan questions. So I provided that information to the foundation said, hey, if this is something we look to explore, is this something you'd still be able to want to fund at a much lower cost? And because if the answer is yes, then I'm gonna have Joe do a lot more research into this. Joe, what software?
Yeah, the software is included for free, no licensing, and then the specific one that I quoted you also had a cloud version that was free.
So may I ask
you can-
who it's through?
Petro LED, which is it's a national provider, so they offer a 5-year parts warranty and then a 10-year parts availability guarantee. So it's not like a fly-by-night China place. They're going to stock it for a minimum of a decade to make sure that if there is a module that needs replaced, you can take that one module out, put a module in, and then repair that outside.
Yes.
So, we haven't
Okay,
moved forward
so-
on anything, but go ahead, please.
Basically, we're getting some new panels and new software to use with the existing sign?
Yeah, right.
The existing aluminum sign is
Like,
mostly
like
a
the
light
existing
box on top.
panels, yeah, the
Yep.
existing panels that are the reader, the electronic message center that's in there now. So you found something that's compatible with what's there now?
Not compatible, so the
Okay.
ones that are in there, the electronic LED displays,
Yeah.
those are basically rotted out.
Yeah.
I actually have them on my desk here, if you wanna look at them after the meeting, but they are.
No, I believe it.
And they've already been resoldered by hand a couple times, and they're just beyond repair completely. So the software also doesn't really work anymore with
Okay.
any modern systems. So the software, most of the vendors will all provide you software to run their signs.
Right, okay. And what was it? Plano
Petro LED,
Petro LED?
yeah, they do
That was just
billboards,
a
gas
scroll part.
stations, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so,
Just a scroll.
okay.
There are other vendors as well, but that was the one that had, a good solid track record, high parts availability, and a good price.
I'll
I mean,
try
see,
to
my vote was just
send
put
me-
flowers
send me a
around it
quick
and it's just
email.
decor.
Just say, hey, Jack, I'll send you.
It's just a sign, doesn't have to be LED, it says the name of
If
the
I
school,
don't
that's all I
remember.
need.
If I remember. So, but like I said, Wendy's gonna take it to the foundation
We
and
got the
see
stickers.
what their perspective is. My guess is they'll cover, we'll use half still. And that is for both sides, right? The way you and I
Yeah,
talked.
it's double-sided, it's a little taller, the old one was 9 inches, it's gonna be 12 inches tall, and it's the width of the sign.
Okay.
They retrofit on just the outside of the sign, so it'll kind of be like putting imagine a big piece of
Yeah.
plywood, wood, but it's just all LED panels. It bumps out just a little bit on each side, but you really won't see it too much unless you're looking at it straight from the side, and it'll only be like an inch or two gap there. So,
And is it full color?
yeah, it's full color.
Okay.
And Michelle always gets what she wants, so.
I bet she'll update it and it'll be wonderful. It'll be updated daily, she will be on it.
All right. How about our elementary school? It does say here that the roof is in excellent condition.
Everything
Oh,
but
the
that.
second
Except for on the
story.
top.
Oh, no, well,
Yeah. No, it's all brand new roofing except, well, even that one, I would have told you was a brand new roof until they jumped up there and took some pictures, but yeah.
so kitchen?
So it's always been a pipe dream.
Uh-huh.
Because right now, all the cookies at the junior high,
Okay.
they transferred
It
over there. But you notice I put it on there and you haven't had. seen
We've been
that for
getting just
years.
lunches by itself, I mean, getting people to staff that, getting to do that, man, that, you're saying 90,000 for a kitchen, but it's a whole lot more than that. Cause you'd be having to run your own food service program at that part,
We do run our own. Oh, you're talking about,
like.
well,
run-
even when we ran our own food service, we still cooked it out of the
Yeah.
junior high and transferred it over. This is more being able to cook out of
Is
it.
there any chance you can get, when you renegotiate your donation at Peace about using that gym and that cafeteria, that kitchen?
I can lose that.
Because
I know- I
Yeah,
know-
but they probably still use their kitchen.
The gym was kind of the first time around was not something that they wanted to.
Because, like-
they use they use that for services. That was their kind of push on that one.
Yeah,
Kitchen, I don't know.
people are dying to go.
And then all these transition to LEDs. We're just transitioning all our fixtures, is that what this is?
Yeah, updating all the,
Interior, exterior lighting,
Yeah.
we're, believe it or not, most of the schools are all pretty
Okay.
close to being everything LED.
Nathan stands and stares right into them a lot of the
Oh,
time.
that's
So
fun.
we're just
That's a
doing
good
that.
time.
That's just something that we're doing, like,
Periodically.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
alright.
when we get, Mike did a lot when he saw rebates and things like that.
oh, okay, because I
Yeah.
was gonna ask sometimes if you get a company that does them, they'll get you you know, an energy rebate or something like that too.
Yeah, most of Illinois pretty much.
GRP was
gave
gonna do
most of
that
your
for us,
schools,
but
yeah.
we found we could do it cheaper.
Oh, okay, all right, cool, cheaper, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you'll notice there's also, Nate added this one as a possibility, a light pole on the southeast corner of, that's right by the playground, basically, right?
It's just poorly lit at night,
Yeah.
whether it's the kindergarten, the first and second grade hallway, and then the stairs. That whole corner is kind of dark, and it's, I'm gonna say,
Oh.
for safety reasons and whatever, I know the police
That
do
always,
drive-bys.
that's always, I think that's the areas that always brought up when it's Beecher Fest. Everyone's like, it's really dark right there, and I'm like, don't walk there. School's not in session. I mean, I hate to be blunt, but I was like, school's not in session, we don't walk at night, the kids are safe, like. That's
Well,
my
but-
concern. Are the kids safe? Yes.
Yes. So can we get some, maybe, can we look at the staff lot for the high school and getting some lighting there?
Mike's
I
gonna be
mean,
here on Wednesday, might as well ask him
Okay, I mean, because if that's a safety concern.
for me.
Does it have to be a
I mean, I don't
pole?
want you to use your karate skills or
Does it
anything.
have to be poles or can it be on
You
the?
get the light packs on the wall, or
Yeah.
whatever's easier. There's,
Yeah.
right now on the south side of the gym, there's 2 or 3 big light packs, and then nothing really on that north, or I'm sorry, the west side, east side. Either alternative, just something, instead of just using the dollar store lights as leak over.
Well, I'm guessing light plaques on the building would be easier and quicker.
And cheap.
As long as there's electric over there, yeah. Is there electric over there?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well,
As, I mean,
to put on the building.
Anywhere.
What's
On
that?
the building,
Yeah,
there's, I mean, he would take it from the inside, that's how we did the.
that's what I'm asking. How would they get it out?
Conduit.
Put a junction box right through the
Sure.
wall.
I mean, there's a light right above the door that points down, but yeah, you would probably.
You could put a lot of LEDs
Right,
on one
I mean,
junction
even if
box
you just
too.
beat it up and put a brighter LED that we could adjust,
Yeah.
so it covers that wall. It's really just for, I mean, there's teachers here, coaches, whatever, till 7, 8 o'clock at night a lot of times, so.
Well, it's dark at
Yeah.
3:30 now,
Superintendent,
so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's a safety concern, you know, and if it's not horrible, it's not like we're
I will, yeah,
not in the red anymore.
have Mike look at it. Nate didn't put it on there, but he would also like you guys to consider a disco ball for the maintenance shop here at the high school.
I might have one that you can have.
Cool.
LED, so just stay right there.
Yeah, that'd be high efficient.
Angel would use it.
And then we don't have, the bus barn's all good.
Yeah,
We did the
Nate-
door, one door, right?
Yeah, we
That's
did
all
that. That
we
was
have to
a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Nate suggested the possibility of adding an overhead awning for the buses. Because right now they sit outside, so if it snows, you have to clear off the buses and everything. But putting like,
do. Like
It
a
stinks
cart.
for them, that
Oh.
stinks, like you have to, I
Like
hate
a
cleaning
big
off my car, I
carport
can
kind of
imagine a
thing?
bus.
Yeah.
So it'd be like a big,
Not a permanent, I mean, it could be a permanent structure coming off of that west side, but
Yeah.
Right?
just a
Gotta get it off the
aluminum
bus.
roof and some posts or something to prevent the buses, especially when we're buying all these new buses, pick up from the elements a little better. They already, she's got electric out there, I believe, for,
yeah, for the,
plugging them in and
yeah.
everything, so I
So-
think it'd be.
How
Would
does
we
one go
need
about cleaning off snow on a
Permission,
bus?
I'm guessing.
Just out of
brush?
curiosity.
That's something you'd have to give
Because
permission
I
with the
can't even
village.
get
I'm
with my
pretty
snow
sure,
brush on the top
yeah.
of my SUV.
I can't see it being a problem, but.
No,
They
I
just
wouldn't
stand on
think
each
so
other's
either, but.
shoulders and
Yeah.
push.
how would they do that? Like,
That one needs.
What's that?
They're not
Add
old.
support?
LED upgrade.
you'd have to have,
In the shop.
There, yeah.
maybe a bigger job than you think.
Oh, it's a very big job.
That's
Yeah,
just, it's always hard doing stuff to that one because,
Large buses.
that's like building.
well, and you have to get an
I just
agreement
priced
with
the
the
building,
township
so I
and the
know
village
exactly how much
and,
that's gonna cost.
They're pretty okay about everything,
Yeah.
but just to be sure.
yeah.
All right.
Do we know who the Washington Township Supervisor is that we'd have to talk to? Is he an elected official?
Mike?
I don't know. I
Was
heard
it
it's
saying
kind
that
of,
Mike Smith?
iffy guy.
No, it's Mike
It's
Stewart.
Mike Stewart. I was like, is it dad?
Easy
These
watch
are
the
recorded, right?
transportation
Oh,
supervisor.
that's
You just talked to him over Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
all right. Did we have anything for other? No.
We covered a lot of the others.
Noting
Yeah.
there's still no public comments.
Do you-
Move to adjourn.
Do you have an idea when you would like to have another facilities, so I can provide that to the other company?
For GRP.
Are we trying
Do
to
you want
do
it
before
before
the
the next board meeting?
That is,
Golly, you guys.
probably,
Like preferably?
yeah. If you can give, by the way, Katie, sorry I didn't take notes. I'll watch this and take them for you.
Well, we have, there is
It's
a
fine.
curriculum meeting on the 4th, but you can't go after, right?
No, that was today.
Okay.
I'm supposed to be in the gym
Now?
pretty soon.
Okay.
Okay, so the 4th is the curriculum, and then the 8th is?
Transportation.
Transportation, could we do it after one of those?
I have no problem.
Or do you
with
want to ask if which one works
Yeah,
better
ask
for
them
them,
the
or?
4th.
it. Okay, I'll give them both those options
Okay.
then.
I would prefer the 8th.
Okay, I'll tell them the 8th and then the 4th.
So curriculum is the 4th?
Yes,
Okay, I had that wrong.
at 4.
At 4.
And transportation's at 5 on the.
So I had
Nathan, thank you for staying. Of course.
Okay, do I have to move to adjourn, right?
Yep,
All right,
so moved.
second? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Okay.